here to talk about storing seeds in paper or plastic. Did you all ever notice that when you buy seeds, they are always encased, or most of the time, they're encased in a paper envelope? Is a reason for that. So when you're storing your own seeds, and here's some seeds that I stored, and I put it in a plastic casing, right? Well, I've had some problems with this. The first thing is you need to make sure that the seeds are completely dry. Because if you don't, you're going to experience mold in your seedlings, in your seeds. And these are okra seeds that I got. And these are some I bought from, what is it, from Baker Creek. So there's a reason why they do it this way, because now if it gets wet, it's a different story. But they have a little bit of gloss on these packets where water doesn't penetrate as easily. Although, people have gotten their seeds wet if you put it on a table. So to store these in a dry place. That's why I thought that this would be better. Plastic. Well, I was not correct. And it's all a matter of preference. So let me go ahead and log on so I can see myself and see if anybody's in the chat. Oh, here I am. And see if anybody's in the chat. First, let me turn it down, huh? It always takes me a little while to catch on to skip that. Okay. I saw someone. Oh, Debbie Ebbs. How are you doing? How are you doing? I see there's 3 people in here. So I was talking about paper or plastic. So I said that, did you ever notice that you always buy seeds and they're always in paper? There's a reason why they do this. Because I put mine in plastic and I had some bad experiences. If your seeds are not completely dry, well, you are going to have a hard time because they may develop mold. So here are some seeds. Excuse me. Here are some pods. These, oh, it's already coming out. These are some pods that I got over there where I'm solarizing things, and I got them. They were still green. What I did is I put them in the gazebo in a dry place where they wouldn't get wet, and allowed them to dry out, and they did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I harvest the seeds from these pods. And they're always fighting. They won't let me be great. So see that? Those are all little pods, and some of them have opened and spilled out onto this plate. So I'm going to bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you these. So these packets, and I'm not going to show the name, these, I ordered them from Amazing or Amazon. These are the plastic ones, right? Little plastic baggies. But after I had that experience, I went ahead and ordered these. They're the same size. And I like these better, although they're not waterproof. I like them better because your seeds, it's like when you take your herbs and you can dry them in a paper bag. Same thing with this. Your seeds do not have to be completely dry if you put them in these little plastic envelopes. Paper envelopes. If you're sure that they're dry and you've got a damp environment, go ahead and put them in the plastic. But buyer beware, or saver beware. They may develop mold and they won't be any good. So these, I use them because I have them, but I don't trust them as much as I trust these. I just have to make sure that the seeds never get wet in this. So I'm gonna bring you down and I'm gonna let you see what I do with these broccoli seeds, because it's real easy to get your own seeds. Everybody talks about how people need to start harvesting their seeds, but nobody tells you how to do it. So initially my broccoli bolted, right? Turned to flowers. And I was so upset. I was like, I got one broccoli head from over there, and then it got warm here, and all of them bolted over there. I think I had about 8 to 10 broccoli plants bolt. So once I saw the flowers come out, I was like, well, it's too late, right? So I just left them there. And people were talking about it. They were like, she just let her yard go. She just, she let her garden go. She's not going to be able to harvest. She just needs to pull them up. Well, I had a plan. I wanted the seeds. I wanted to get some kind of harvest, and I got the seeds. I got way more than this. So this was what was left before I put that plastic on. I just broke them off. They were partially brown, partially green. I put them in the gazebo, and a month later, they all turned into brown little sticks. Now the wind is blowing, and these seeds are very light. So I'm gonna show you what I do. I brought a big plate out here so that you can see how I harvest the seeds. So when I'm doing this, sometimes I'm like, oh God, this is so tedious. I don't really want to do it. But then when I think about me wasting money and going ahead and buying seeds when I already had some, I'm like, you know, you wasting your money and you have the time to do it. It's no different than crocheting to me. I mean, if I'm gonna sit there and crochet, I could do a little bit of this. I don't have to do it all at one time. Do it in spurts. So I'm bring it down. Come closer. And I'm gonna take the camera down. So you have your pods here, right? And some of them have already broke open, right? I'm gonna break one open right here, all right? You take the pod and you crack it open. Once it's dry, it's gonna crack right open. And look at that. Seeds are falling out. You take your nail and run it along the side because there's seeds on both sides. And this is just for broccoli seeds, but this goes for any seed. I am famous for planting stuff from the supermarket. I need my own another channel for that. You see that? You see how many seeds I'm getting out of this? And I just keep on going, little by little. The only thing with these seeds is that they may fly away because they're really light. So I'm trying to make it easier for myself and pull them apart, but it's not working. And there's the wind, won't let me be great. All right, God, give me a chance. So just now, you see we already have about 20 seeds in here, right? That easy. And you just crinkle them out. Crinkle them out. All right. So normally, I would take these seeds and I would I'm covering them. I would take these seeds and I would dry them for about, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks on the table once I got enough of them. But because I have the paper, see, it's blown away. Because I have the paper sacks in, I don't have to do that because I can dry them in this little thing. So you take this, right? We're gonna get all these little broccoli seeds up. You're gonna funnel them into the bag. And this goes for any seeds. Always make sure they're dry. Always make sure they're dry. And if they're not completely dry, at least you get a chance with this. At least you get an opportunity to, you know, if you make a mistake and one of them happen to be damp, you don't have to worry as much about mold unless they're completely wet. Don't take a watermelon seed that you just got out of the watermelon and put it in one of these. It may work, but you want to dry them out a little bit. Preferably you want to dry them out till they look like this, or they look all dried up. If it's a watermelon seed, they look dried out. I'll show you some other seeds that I have over here because they all look different, yet they all look the same. Fly is bothering me. I sprayed all kind of spray on myself to make sure. Hello, hi plant reporte. How you doing? So I'm putting them all in this little thing because I don't want them to fly away. This is about how much I would get in a pack of seeds. I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, it's more than I thought. I put them on a white plate so I can see them. Now, not all seeds are created equal. These are small, but there are some that are super small. Like a lot of the herb seeds are super, super small. And then I just close it up and it's got a little thing where you can seal it. And I put it to the side and I store it. Now I have some okra seeds here, right? I'm gonna take you back so you can see me. So I have some okra seeds here, right? I dried these out. Now I had some, I harvested last year. I harvested a whole bunch of okra. That okra gets really woody quick. So if you get an okra and you notice that it's ready, pick it that day, because the next day it may be woody and you can't eat it. You can't eat it. So I had a couple of them that went that and I learned to feel them before I pick them. And if they feel woody, if it's the end of the season, because if you don't take off the ones that are going to seed, the plant will stop producing, because all the plant wants to do is reproduce itself and then it's done. So at the end of the season, I had some that had went woody and I just left it there. Hello, horse, how are you doing? Oh, okay. So these seeds were I keep on seeing stuff come on and come on. So these seeds were harvested last year, but I don't want them in this packet anymore. I got a bird that's out. I got a dwarf bird, and she didn't grow like the rest of them, so she just walks out and starts walking around here. She makes me so mad. She's always out, always just lollygagging around outside the coop. I can't catch her either. So I just hope the dogs don't come out one time when she's out here. So I'm gonna take these seeds and I'm taking them out of this little plastic packet that I had. I don't like them anymore. I've had what, 2 packs of those go bad. And I'm gonna put these okra seeds in the paper. So if they ask you paper or plastic, pick paper for your seeds. Unless you're in a damp environment, then go ahead and do the plastic and hope that you don't get any mold on your seeds. Because it could happen. Yeah, it could happen. It happened to me. I just had to throw the whole thing out. I think it was watermelon seeds of all things. I didn't have a lot of those. So I'm just taking them and putting them all in the paper. And these little packets are not expensive. They're not. Saving your own. Even if you don't have to buy these, you get an envelope. Hello, Karen's little garden. How are you doing? Welcome. You don't have to do this. Go to the Dollar Tree and get some envelopes. You don't have to buy these. They might have these in the Dollar Tree. I don't think so. I haven't seen them because I scoped that place out. But you can use an envelope. I have used envelope for bigger seeds. Regular envelopes. I like the paper better. You understand, right? I like the paper better because I've had bad experiences with that plastic. I thought I was doing right and I wasn't. So I got all my okra seeds in a paper bag. So harvesting seeds is not fun. It's not a fun thing to do. I mean, maybe you could get your kids to kind of do this, make it fun for them. I don't know. I don't think of it as that fun. I just do it because I don't want to buy them anymore. And I know how many I can get. I could get over 200 seeds, more than 200 seeds, just letting something go to seed and doing this. And I sit there in the middle of the night like a workman, a Christmas elf, taking the pods off and put them on the plate, little by little. Does anybody have any questions in reference to harvesting your own seeds? Oh, I have a caveat. There are some plants that you do not let the seeds dry out. And I had to learn that the hard way. I believe it's sweet sop. I tried to grow some sweet sop and I saved the seeds, right? Now, initially I put the wet seeds. I had some fresh ones, right? I had a whole bunch of fresh ones. And I planted a whole bunch of them. Then I went on vacation and they passed away. So I was like, oh, I got more seeds. I'll do it next year. I got a whole bunch of seeds. Those seeds, you cannot let them get dry. Another plant that does not like its seed to dry out is, what is it called? Chocolate. That chocolate plant, can't let that seed dry out. You have to plant it immediately. Not all plants are the same. Just like all people aren't the same. There's flies on me. All people aren't the same. All plants are not the same. But for the most part, dry them out. Dry them out as best you can, wherever you, just set it down somewhere in a place and just leave it there for a couple of weeks and then come back and you'll have a fall crop because this is for fall. Broccoli, I'm down south, I'm in Texas. I can't grow broccoli in the summertime. It'll go straight to seed. That's why I planted it this winter. Mrs. Thompson, 87, how are you doing? Okay, back. My kids changed my profile name. My kids changed my profile name to Boris, so I had to change it back. It's like, I know your picture. And I was like, okay, I know that lady. Maybe, why did she change it to that though? That is so funny. Shake my head. Miss Thompson, 87. That's funny. That's a good joke. I was like, because I know your picture. I know I recognize your picture because we go back and forth on the notes or in the when we talk back and forth, and I know your picture. I was like, maybe she has a bunch of horses. That is so funny. I didn't want to say anything. I did not want to say anything. I was like, okay, I gotta get it together, girl. Uh-oh, when the package flew away. Man, kids, that is a good joke. And you didn't realize it until you got on. What's that say? No good bunch of bad kids. Uh-oh, the wind is picking up. Oh, Lord. So, here we are. We have more seeds here. We also have a lot of wind. That's the okra. Here's the pack of broccoli seeds. I'm just gonna put. Did I lose any? No, I didn't. I'm just gonna put the rest of them. Try to get your debris out of here. You don't want to plant that. Try to get as much debris out of your plate as possible. I recommend you use a white plate so you can see everything. And get rid of the stuff that you don't want. Use whatever you want though. It's really simple, and this is what they're charging us for. So yeah. I have bought some seeds. As a matter of fact, let me see this one. This one's from Baker Creek. Baker Creek usually gives you a decent amount of seeds, and I have gotten seeds and it only had like 10 seeds in it. That happened with my blueberry tomatoes. But after I grew those bad boys, I harvested those seeds. I ain't never buying blueberries. And it wasn't cheap. It was like a little bitty, it was a packet like this with about, I think they gave me 11 seeds. 11. And they told me that they gave me 11 seeds. It was on a little note. Talk about it's a 99% chance that all of the seeds will germinate. I was so upset. I was so scared that they weren't going to germinate. I was like, I just wasted my money. But they did. They were right. They germinated. I ain't buying no more of them though. I got more than enough of them. Who's here? Cena Renee Apartment Shed. How are you doing? Debbie Ebbs is here. Miss Thompson 87. Oldham's Homestead. How are you doing? I'm just here, collecting a bunch of seeds from my bolted crops. I don't when they bolt, I don't get rid of them. If they're not in the way, just let them stay there until they dry up. And go ahead and get something from them. You might as well get something. You're not going to get a crop. Well, you are getting a crop. You're getting seeds, but you're getting future crops from it. And I was upset. I was like, one little head of broccoli, ain't that something? I was mad. I was mad at myself for planting them so late. I think, did I plant them in February or January? I can't remember. Whenever it was too late for Texas. Way too late. So, I don't know if I could show you this on camera. I don't know if it's going to resonate, but there it is. Got a whole bunch of seeds in here. You enjoy, who is this? I enjoy seed harvest. So do I. Well, I enjoy not having to pay for it no more. I feel like I don't need to go on Baker Creek and spend $4, $4 to, well, it's more now. $5 a pop for a pack of seeds. Although their seeds are good. Their seeds are good. I am not a seed snob. I buy from the Dollar Tree. I buy from Baker Creek. I buy seeds from all over. Homestead Heart has a seed shop. I mean, I've gotten so many seeds from so many places. I can't. Am I Gardner? There's a whole bunch of them, but I want to be Jamaica seeds to myself. I'm not selling any seeds, but I definitely don't want to buy them again. If they bolt on me, well, I'm just gonna keep the seeds. I'm not gonna keep going through the same thing over and over. I'm not gonna keep buying this stuff. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like us going to the store, and this is broccoli, right? How much does the head of broccoli cost? Versus, I mean, and let me tell you a trick I'm doing now. Because I have to water my foundation. I'm starting to plant around the foundation of my house. First of all, it stays damper around the foundation of your house. And you need to, in Texas, we need to water our foundation. I mean, people's foundation cracked around here. So I'm planting my stuff around the side, around my house as a hedge because I have to water it anyway. So that's how I save money on watering. And I protect the foundation of the house. Just a trick that I came up with because I was running soaker hoses around this joker last year. And then the water company wrote me talking about, you need to stop using so much money. I mean, you need to stop using so much water. There was water restrictions. And now everybody's foundation is cracking. I heard so many people jackhammering, including my next door neighbor. I was like, y'all, I'll pay for the water versus paying for a new foundation. So instead of me just watering the foundation and not getting anything out of it, I'm just gonna plant some of my crops around the house, just like I planted around that gazebo. Most of the stuff I plant, with the exception of the garden out there and there, the rest of it is going around the house. And the chickens, of course, I'm not planting in there because they'll just dig it up. Who else is in here? I enjoy seed. Let's see, Cena Renee, apartment shed. I enjoy seed harvesting. Yeah, seed harvesting is not hard. It's not hard, and it gets me. What gets me is that, especially with that one where I got 11 seeds, some people make a big deal out of nothing. And they're like, oh, I'm only going to give you 11 seeds because these are precious seeds. And then when you plant it, you get hundreds of them. And you're like, okay, I know if that they had hundreds of them. Why would they being so stingy with the seeds, especially when they're charging us a lot of money for it? I said, okay, I ain't buying no more seeds from you. I got my own now. This is debris. Some of these are. If they're flat, they're no good. So if you get flat seeds, don't use those. They're not viable. But the round ones, yeah, you get them. So this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing from now on. Now on, there's things that I just, if I get the seeds or if I get a cutting, if I can get a cutting from it, I don't buy it again. My dragon fruit, I broke off a piece today, and I remember my friend in Hawaii, afraid to move because this thing might cut out. DMV Gardner, how you doing? So my friend in Hawaii, she liked cactuses. She loved cactuses. Let me put something over this so that they don't fly away. And I remember that she used to dry out the cactus before she planted it. So I was thinking about it. I said, well, a dragon fruit is just like a cactus. And if you can't get seed, well, you probably can get cuttings from some of this stuff. Like these, you don't have to buy these no more because they run all over the place. These, I forget what they call, spider plant. That's what I call it. So I bought a dragon fruit. I bought 2 of them from the supermarket. And every time I walk by this thing, I hope I don't cut out, I get scratched. See that? Those are dragon fruit, right? Do you know that you can break off or cut off a piece of dragon fruit? And I did that this morning. And you wait, ouch. This thing is a cactus, by the way. You wait until it develops a skin on the bottom. So you break it off, right? And it's going to be round at the bottom, right? And you cut it until you get the triangle, right? And you let it sit for a couple of days and then you stick it in the soil. This is a cutting. If you can't get seeds, go ahead and do your cuttings. Or with these, you just, these are pups. That's what they call them. You put those in the ground. I'm afraid to go out to the taro because that might fly. I might lose it. But there are different ways for you to get the same plant over and over again and not have to buy it anymore. You don't have to buy it anymore. You don't have to spend a bunch of money buying the same thing over and over again. It just doesn't make any sense. So those are taro out there, right? I'm afraid to move out there. And they send out pups. So underground they send out another one and they just bunch up, kind of like, what does that? Sweet potatoes? Sweet potatoes, they send out pups or runners. They send out runners. That's what I should say. They send out runners, and that's how you get a bunch of sweet potatoes from the runners. The more the sweet potato spreads, well, the more sweet potatoes you're probably going to get, but you're going to have to wait longer because the longer the vine is, the more time it's going to take for you to get some big sweet potatoes. That's why people cut them back and try to keep them confined. There's a lot of things that, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, our grandparents knew that we forgot about. I mean, I didn't think about gardening until, gardening for food for years. I put out a couple of citrus trees, but I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't have time. Too busy trying to work. But I planted all the rest of these jokers out here, and I can't eat none of it. None of it. They're pretty, but pretty ain't going to help me when I'm hungry. That's a beauty fades. Especially when your stomach is hungry and you can't eat these things. And I put those in the ground and took care of those. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to play catch up, and I'm planting a bunch of fruit trees and dragon fruit and things that are edible landscaping. And I'm mixing broccoli and cauliflower and all the vegetables in with the inedible stuff. So around it, the hedge is going to be the stuff that you can eat. So let me see if I missed anybody. Hello, Miss Sharon. I hope I said hello to you earlier. I did. I think I did. Does anybody have any questions in reference to harvesting and waiting for your seeds? I'm gonna go over it again for the people who just came in, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the people in here already know. Go ahead and wait till it turns brown. In most cases, especially with the brassicas, this is a brassica, of broccoli. This was a broccoli, or is many broccoli plants now. Broccoli seeds. You're gonna see the flower come, leave it. The flower is gonna turn and start developing these pods, right? The pods are gonna be green and juicy, right? You do not want to touch them. Leave them there. Wait till they turn brown and start bending over and look all dead, just like this. And then you could shake them, and it sounds like a rattle. And this is most of the brassicas does this. Most of the brassicas is gonna sound like this, like a rattle. You hear that? That's the seeds inside. Just bounce it around inside the pod, and then you just separate it like I did. If you don't have the paper bags like these, go ahead and if you already bought these, go ahead and use these like I did. They cost the same. They're the same price. You get just as many. I got 100 of these and 100 of these, same price. So if you're sure that they are dry, you could go ahead and put them in plastic. Or if you live in a damp environment, go ahead and put them in plastic. Make sure that they're dry though. If you're not sure, go ahead and put them in a paper bag or an envelope or one of these. And that's about it. As I said, I threw these on the table. People were like, those weren't ready because they were green. They were half brown, half green. And I saw another YouTuber say, you don't harvest your seeds while they're still green. Well, I wanted to solarize that because I need that plot of land. I was like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting. I'm gonna pull it up. And I just took them and threw them in a dry place, and sure enough, there they are. So I took the chances. I had already harvested some of these. This is like the last of them. Let me see. Miss Sharon, I just found a few months ago that hostas were edible. Me too. I just found out. Yeah, I found out a couple of weeks ago. I grew up with hostas. I'm from New York originally, born and raised in New York, Queens. Jamaica, Queens to be exact. I get real in depth, but I ain't gonna go any further than that because there's another subset from Jamaica, Queens. It goes all the way down Jamaica Estates, Hollis. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. So we had hostas, still do. The house is still there. My family's still there. We had hostas that lined the front of the house, like in a circle, and on the side, like in the pathway, and then it was a hedge. It is a hedge. And then I find out that they're edible all these years. And our neighbors used to come and ask us, can you dig up a few of them and give it to us? We used to just give them away because they get bigger and wider and wider. Man, I forgot to tell my mom. She needs to know this. She'll probably be like, no, I'm not going to eat that. That's how people are when they don't know. Older people, they won't think, what? I ain't eating that. DMV Gardener, my brassicas I let go to seed look like pea pods right now. That's what they look like until they dry out. Here it is. Let me break one off. They look like little green pea pods. All right. And then they shrink down to nothing. They turn into these. And inside are the seeds. And you just crunch them. You hear me crunching? You just crunch them and you get the seeds out. And in that little pod, I'll show you what I got. I got my plate upside down, but I got at least 12 seeds from that little pod. See that? Imagine how many seeds I got. And then we're paying $3 for these little packs of seeds with 10 of them in there. Or 20. And think we did some. What part of the plant is edible? I don't know. I got to look it up. I just heard it on a YouTuber was saying that probably the leaves. Because when we dug it up, there's really no tuber on it. It's like a tulip bulb. I don't think you could eat that though, because they weren't very big. I bet you it's the leaves. But don't quote me. I don't know. Oh, you was born and raised in Brooklyn? Okay, we lived in Brooklyn for a while. Where we live? Near Pitkin. All I remember is Pitkin Avenue. I love Pitkin Avenue. I love shopping there. And what was it? Kings Highway. And wow, I was little when I was in Brooklyn. Brooklyn and Queens are just like that. All you do is take the Belt Parkway down to the Van Wyck and you in Queens. Let's see. LP, hello everybody. Hi LP, how are you doing? We're talking about harvesting seeds. Miss Sharon, she says, hello, Miss Thompson. It's the little pups that come out before they open up. So that's the part of the hosta that you eat, the little pups that come out, the little it's the little pups that come out before it opens up. I gotta go and look at my mama's hostas. I'm going home soon, so I guess I'll look when I go there. They'll be out already. So Debbie's, what is it? Let me see. Wow, my grandmother lives off Pitkin Avenue. Wow, small world. Sin Renee, apartment stead. Debbie Ebbs says the entire hosta is edible. Really? All that time we was doing all that stuff. I mean, my grandmother just liked the way they look because they had the little pretty purple flowers and the hummingbirds would come in. And I remember I was stuck on the porch anyway. They wouldn't let me go nowhere. So, I mean, they were edible the whole thing, the whole time. Wow. Miss Sharon said, that's awesome. That's, yeah, it is awesome. It would have been awesome, more awesome had we known. Lynette Lawrence says, I enjoy your channel. I lived in Brooklyn to Brownsville. Oh, okay. Brownsville. We lived on, did we live in Brownsville? We lived on Strauss Street. Wow, that was a long time ago. We lived on Strauss Street. We lived near, what was the name of that hospital? It was just off Kings Highway. I can't remember. It's been so long. I was like, when we moved out of Brooklyn, I think I was going into third grade. So it was a long time ago. I'm not going to tell my age, but that was a long, long time ago. Miss Thompson, 87, said, yep, there's food and medicine all around us. I know. I know. Miss, GT Junior, GT Junior at Alaska. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, there is food all around us, and we don't know. There's a book on edible plants, but I'm just so afraid. I need somebody to be with me in person and say, that's the plant. I don't want a picture from a book because I might be the one eating deadly nightshade or something. That's my art. They're perfectly edible. In fact, the Japanese have been eating hostas safely for centuries. Known as uru, I hope I'm saying that right. They're commonly boiled, fried in tempura, and eaten raw. Man, really? Debbie adds, just make sure your hostas haven't been treated with pesticides before you eat. Well, they're the ones in our yard, so we didn't spray anything on it. They're there at my mama's house. Miss Sharon and my uncle's house. I planted them in Virginia. I took talk about transport and stuff. I drove up to New York, went to my mama's house, dug up some hostas, took it to Virginia, to Norfolk, Virginia, and put it in front of my uncle's house. Miss Sharon Christian, thank you for the info. I'm gonna try it when I go home to the other home, my mama's home, the home I grew up in. Senna Renee Apartments dead. She's just saying hello. I also lived in Atlantic Towers. I don't know where that is. I remember Atlantic Avenue, I think. See, I lived in Jamaica, Queens from third grade all the way through until the day I left New York. I was in Queens. My cousins lived in Coney Island, and their projects out there. Well, I don't know if they're projects anymore because I think they flooded or something during, what was it, Sandy? I think Sandy took those projects out. But I had cousins out there in Coney Island. I remember going out there, but I don't know much about Brooklyn anymore. Do not. All I remember is Pitkin Avenue. It's bigger than Jamaica Avenue, definitely. I don't know if it still is, but it was when I was a kid. So I thank you guys. Does anybody have any questions in reference to cuttings, to pups, to runners, or to seeds? Because there are a lot of ways to get more. What did you say? Rockaway Avenue. All right, Atlantic and Rockaway Avenue. I don't know where Rockaway Avenue is. Now I know where Rockaway Boulevard is in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens. That's the last exit on the Vanwick before you get to JFK. Don't stop, though. Keep going. Dragon fruit cuttings. Yeah. I looked it up today, and I had, this thing was brushing up against me. I'm just going to wait for a scab to form on the bottom of this. I'm going to stick it in some soil, and we're going to see. I got another one over there that's scratching me. I'm gonna let it dry out, develop a scab. I just cut this one today, so I can't put it in the soil. You have to let it scab. I remember my friend in Hawaii with her cactuses. She would just sit them on top of the soil for a couple of days, and then she would just stick them in the soil, and they would root. So that's what's gonna happen in this one. I'm not buying dragon fruit again. I'm gonna learn how to do it. This is my first time doing dragon fruit. But I watched a couple of YouTubers on dragon fruit, and they all said to cut the bottom off because it's going to round off at the bottom. So you cut that off, get a flat surface, let it scab over, and then you stick it in the dirt. Let me see. I missed a whole bunch. Dragon fruit cutting. See, with eyes, GT Junior. What kind is that? What kind of dragon fruit is that? I don't know. Let's go look. I don't know if I took the thing off because I bought it from the supermarket. I bought two from the supermarket. I always try to buy two. This thing has been scratching me up ever since. I don't see anything. Let me see. Wait a minute. I do see something down here. Wait a minute. I already scratched myself. I don't need to get another scratch. I'll tell you in just a moment, GT. I think. These things are huge. I got it from, there's a store in Texas called HEB. They're the ones who own Whole Foods. HEB owns Whole Foods. This thing is heavy. And they sell plants. It says Edgar's Baby Dragon Fruit right there. That's what it is. And of course it says Texas HEB. They got their own little label. Look at that. These people are a trip. They got their own little backyard. They said HEB Texas backyard, Edgar's Baby Dragon Fruit. And where's it from? It doesn't know. But there is the technical name. I don't know how to say it, but there it is. I hope that helps. And I hope this thing doesn't fall on me. Look how big it is. And I go there all the time and buy stuff from them. Now, sometimes I get stuff from them and it just falls over. But these were not expensive. I think they were less than $20. That's why I got two of them. Initially, I went and got one, and then I went back and I got another one because I was like, I do not want just one. I always try to buy two or three, just in case I make a mistake. I'm doing all kind of yoga trying to get this thing back down on the ground. There we go. Man. All right, back to the chat. Let's see what's going on. Wait. Okay, so GT Junior grows. He said he has his sitting in water. Really? Did you let it dry out first? Because that's what I don't remember what his channel is. I can't remember, but that's what another YouTuber said, to let it develop a skin. I remember Debbie, she used to let her cactus develop a skin before she planted it. Christian Jahan. I hope I'm saying it Jahan. I hope that's right. Did you get all the daughter off the trees? I got as much off as I could. I was afraid it was gonna fall off that ladder. That thing was unstable. I got off as much. What you saw me do on the video is what I got off. I have not found the main stem of that daughter. I think, and the thing with daughter is once you have it, you can't get rid of it. All you can do is try to control it. Because it's another thing that like sends off, like the sweet potatoes, it sends off underground pups. So you'll get rid of it over here, and if the root's still alive, it'll go over, and it could be far, and it'll come up somewhere else. I just pulled one out today on the other side of the gazebo. Daughter out of the trees. Also, I currently live in Hawaii. I lived, first I was in Makakilo, which was in, I lived in Makakilo up on the hill, looking down. And then I moved to Ever Beach. Dry. Couldn't grow anything there. It was so dry in Ever Beach. So dry. And I was in the military, so I was stationed at Schofield Barracks. So I'd just take the highway and go down past the Dole, pineapple fields, and go straight into Schofield Barracks. Just get on the highway. Zoop. Right in. About 20 minutes. It was nice in Hawaii, but it was really, really lonely. Really lonely. And my family was like, why don't you stay? First of all, I would have starved to death because it's super expensive there. And I just wanted to go back to the mainland. I just wanted to go where I could get my car. If something was wrong with my mom, I could get in my car and just drive. Even though I'm in Texas, at least I don't have to fly. I can drive or take a train or take a bus. Hawaii, you gotta fly. Or you can take a ship, but it's gonna take you a while if you do that. Let's see. San Renee. I was at Schofield for 6 years, by the way. I was there a long time. I did 2 tours. Initially, I didn't want to leave, and then when I wanted to leave, I wanted to leave because they say if if you live on an island, and GT Junior GT Junior in Alaska, I've been to Alaska one time. Alaska is just as beautiful as Hawaii, except it's cold, and then they got that weird daylight thing going on. Like it gets dark for forever, or it stays light forever. I didn't like. I flew there when it was dark forever. To me, it seemed that way. I come from Hawaii. All right, so let's see. GT Juniors, now I'm wondering if it's self-fertile or self-pollinating. Are you talking? Wait a minute, what did I miss? My granny had one of those. We all just thought it was a cactus of some kind. We never had heard of dragon fruit. Yeah, you might need more than one in order to get some fruit. There's Jay. What is Jay? GT Junior? I know you know his name. Jay. He grows it. He has it. He has a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to learn from him. I'm pretty sure I've eaten dragon fruit. I didn't like it, and I know from growing stuff out here that if you grow something, it never sounds like, it never tastes like what you get in the supermarket. It's always better. Hello, Miss Shirley OG Gardner. How you doing? Let me see. GT Junior. Okay. High plant report day concerning strawberry runners. Do you have to keep it connected to the mother plant and plant the new runner next to it, or can you cut the runner and plant it anywhere? I grew strawberries. I don't have any strawberries here. I didn't have any luck. Well, I did. Yes, I did. I had them in pots. You get, once the runner gets roots on it, just like these. Let me see. It's similar to this plant, the spider plant. So once the runner, let me take this one off. Once the runner develops roots, like the spider plant, you see that? That's the regular spider plant. There's the roots. You can plant it independently of its mother. But when it doesn't have any roots, when it just looks like this and there's no roots showing, because this one has roots. See that? That's roots. That's how your the runners on your strawberry is going to look when they're ready. They're actually connected to the ground after a while. You just cut them off once they get their roots and you plant them. We did that in school, in high school. I went to school for horticulture and agriculture. So we had a whole bunch of strawberry. We had a strawberry patch, a huge strawberry patch in Queens. Went to a school called John Bound a long time ago in Flushing, Queens. Let's see. And yes, now if your plant likes that soil, because if it doesn't like it, well, it doesn't matter if it's got roots on it or not, because if the strawberry plant doesn't like the soil, it's just gonna pass away. But if it has roots on it, you go ahead and plant it. High plant, okay. Lynette, I saw a gigantic silver leaf in the grocery store. What? I saw a gigantic silver, what is it, slivers leaf in the grocery store and plan to buy it to plant indoor. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what that is? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's Juicing with Jay. That's who does the dragon fruit. It's amazing. He has a whole bunch of them, and he has them. Like mine are still in the supermarket pots. I have to transport them to those big containers like he has them, and put a trellis on it, because you have to stand them up. Those are falling over right now. They have to be up potted soon. But I have to figure out where he got his trellis from. I hope he didn't build it, because I'm not that handy with the saw and with nails. I barely can get a roost up in the in the tough shed for the birds. I was fighting with that roost for a long time, trying to get that piece of wood up. Dragon fruit can be self-fertile, self-pollinating, or both. Did y'all hear? Y'all saw that? So you don't need two dragon fruit. I just always do it. I always think back, because they say a lot of, like, I bought one pear tree one time, right? And the guy at the Tractor Supply told me, shouldn't you be buying 2 pairs? And on the label it says that you can this pair, you could just plant the 1 pair and it'll give you fruit. But then I got on YouTube University and they said, yes, you'll get fruit from the 1 pair, but you'll get more fruit if you plant them in 2 or more. So now I got a whole bunch of pear trees out there. And I'm mad at myself because I bought a Shinseki pear and only bought 1 because I was being cheap. And now the orchard or none of the nurseries that I trust are carrying them. So I have to wait until fall to buy another one. Let's see. GT Jr. is just saying hello. Miss Shirley OG Gardner is saying hello. Oh, aloe vera. Oh, I got plenty of aloe vera. Aloe vera is like a, man, I got aloe vera all over the place. Everywhere. I can't get rid of it. And it keeps on sending off pups. I got aloe vera. I started off with 2 aloe vera plants. 2. And now I got them all over the place. I had some pass away this winter from the freeze, but I bought some and I put them in this little greenhouse over here. This Walmart greenhouse. I got that from Walmart online. If y'all want to know where it's from. And I put the rest of them in there. But yeah, aloe vera, if you put it in soil that it likes, it just keeps going. It keeps going. And going. And going. I got aloe vera right here, holding the door open. Aloe vera behind the door. Move. Move the door out the way. There's some aloe vera right there. I got some aloe vera over there. Aloe vera is underneath the tables over here is aloe vera. Aloe vera is once if you get aloe vera, you ain't gonna get rid of it. You can't. It's hard to kill aloe vera. Hard. So just get one little one and it'll just start whoop whoop whoop, and then after a while you'll have it in a pot, right? You'll have it in a pot, and if it's a little cheap pot like I had some of them in, the pot will start bending, and if it's in one of these clay pots, it's basically smothering itself out. Look at that. That's aloe vera and a bunch of other succulents. It didn't look like that when I put it in there. There's plenty of room in there. Now it's full. So it's getting ready to get a little dark out here. Let me see if there's anything else in the chat. Miss Sharon, for small trellising, look in the big box stores, masonry department. Okay, for steel wire mesh sheets. It's smaller and not as heavy as cattle panels and easy to cut. But he has his on wood. He has these, now don't talk about me because it's a mess back here. He has these big old containers, right? How many gallons are these? These are 20-gallon buckets, right? He has these. He puts a big old wood stake, a big old, I don't know if it's a 4x4 or 2x4. It's about 5-6 feet high. And then he has a little square on top and he trellises it up. Those things get huge apparently. So I'm just trying to do what he does. It looks nice too. It looks really nice. Lynette Lawrence, it takes 2 to tango in the plant and human world. You can survive by yourself, but is that really any fun? Christian Jahan, my husband is military stationed at Fort Shafter. Oh, that's the, okay, Fort Shafter's in Hawaii. That's where I had the out process at Fort Shafter. The garden, I garden everywhere he stations, but I can't wait till he retires so I can really build my dream garden. Yeah, especially if you're renting. I mean, even if you buy a house and you're in the military, you know that you're gonna PCS eventually. A couple of years. In Hawaii, what it was the tour, the initial tour in Hawaii, I think was supposed to be 3 years, and then I did it an extension. I extended there because I didn't want to PCS again. I didn't like it. They break up your stuff, and it's just so stressful. Then you got to go and out process everywhere, and they give you a hard time turning in your stuff. And I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I stayed until I retired. Retired from Schofield Barracks. Well, I retired from Schofield Barracks. So that was my last duty station. I lost my chat. I lost my chat. Wait a minute. Here it is. You might need another dragon fruit with that dragon fruit. Yeah, I got 2. I don't need another one. I got 2, and then possibly 3 after this one dries out, and I stick it in the ground. So GT, so you can root this in water, like a just stick it in water, or do you need to put toothpicks in it like an avocado? Or because the only way I know about doing it is the way that Debbie did it, and that's just to let the bottom dry out. Because I just want to make sure. Well, I got 2, but I want more than 2. I want to be like juicing with Jay. I want to have a whole bunch of them. That is, if I like the dragon fruit, because the one that I ate from HEB was not. It didn't have any taste at all. Yes, you can root it in water. Okay, all right. GT Junior grows in Alaska. Thank you. I'll try that. I got 1 or 2 or 3 more tries on those things, because there's a lot of these coming out. Anyway, it's getting a little dark. I sprayed myself down, so I'm not too concerned about mosquitoes. I don't like spraying myself down, but otherwise I'm already all bit up. I don't need any additional bites, because they getting me. They getting me this year. I'm gonna shut this down. I thank you guys. What does it say? GT Junior, many videos on YouTube on rooting them in water. Okay, then I'll look it up, GT. I'll look it up. I didn't know. This is my first one. So, all right. Well, I am going to say, wait. Let me see. Something else. I have 7 to 10 varieties in water right now. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a whole bunch of them. I just thought there was like 1 or 2. I didn't know. So I'm going to say good night to you guys before it gets too dark out here. I don't want it to, the sun to set on us. I thank you guys for being with me, and I'll do these pop-ups every couple of weeks. I don't know. Sometimes I do it twice a day. This morning I tried to do it, but the internet was acting crazy, so I did not let that video stay out there because it was just bad quality. And I don't like wasting people's time, and I don't like, showing something like that. So I got rid of that video. I put it on private. I thank you guys so much for being with me, and I hope you all grow and harvest your own stuff, and stop paying in, start taking back. Bye, y'all.